You know, we're at the halfway point of the season.
All right, now let's see what we can do. No pressure from behind.
We haven't finished 2 races. You know, one was a problem at Charlotte. The other one, you know, we had a wreck at Laguna that took us out of definitely a podium finish. So very disappointing there. But we have 4 podium finishes as well, 4 third places. And that puts us tied with Tommy Dreese for second in points. So coming off of Lime Rock, you know, we're feeling pretty good. And now here we are at Mid-Ohio. Next weekend is Road America, 2 back-to-backs. And we'll be 2/3 of the way through the season, man. And, you know, it's a pretty tight points battle for second in the championship, and we're in it.
Okay, Cameron, go do what you do, buddy.
Yeah, this was one of the first tracks that I came to when I started running Trans Am. I think first race was Road Atlanta, and then I want to say the next one that we did was here. From very early on in my road racing career, this has been a track we've always been coming to.
I think the back, the way it is, I think has probably helped you everywhere else, but we're just losing the front, so.
And I think it helped me for sure in the slower speed stuff. It definitely turns in better at 4, 5, 6.
Tight, and then when I see daylight, I pull the trigger, you know, squeeze it off, and I'm gone.
Track's open now if you just want to get out there.
Dude, there is a 5-foot wide oil slick all the way across turn 1 into the pit lane. Flag off.
When you don't get a whole lot of laps in practice, it's really you're just going off of experience and just seat of the pants feel. You know, you don't get as much repetition and get to experiment with different things. You know, when you run out of time, you can't try stuff that, you know, you don't know if it might help you out or it might slow you down.
I mean, it's so cool and stuff. My initial feel is that maybe the front's a little too high and maybe we're a little stiff, but we'll see. I mean, I'm waiting at speed and stuff. Like, I think I can get the front to bite if I can keep the weight on it. So I haven't said anything yet just because I'm waiting to drive it a little harder and for everything to kind of come up.
Kind of throwing a little bit of a wrench in things as far as getting all the data and all the setup stuff that we want to know.
As your pressures have gone up, do you still feel the same need for that tie down?
Just a little bit. It's getting better, but probably just a touch. I'm not a huge fan of the track bar. Like, I think if we went maybe halfway, it might be a little better. It's almost getting too much rotation when it loads the rear early in like the first half of the corner. I think it helped. Like, again, if we go back a little bit on it and then work on kind of mid-corner and exit, driving off better.
Go back off that experience that you've got and things that you've done in the past and what feels right, just trying to keep the car on track. And so it definitely helps kind of getting a lot of laps here in the past since we've only had 20 laps maybe this whole weekend.
Before, you know, it's just you breathe on the brakes, turn in, squeeze the throttle off. That's what I did yesterday. Today, I'm turning in and still turning, and then wait, and then go. So it's missing. I'm a second behind the car that I had yesterday.
We went out and practiced today. Did not improve from our testing times. Everybody else did. In one, I just had it nailed yesterday, and now it's tight. And I can't pick the throttle up. It's like another beat before I can pick the throttle up. You're covering so much ground in turn 1, and people have different philosophies. You know, you have the tight and twisty stuff that's low speed, 50-mile-an-hour turns. You spend a lot of time in these turns. You know, you definitely got to get that right. But turn 1 to me, you know, it's double that speed. It's 100+ miles an hour, and it just depending on when you pick the throttle up, exiting that corner, you know, can change speed going into turn 2, you know, like crazy. So you want to get the high-speed corners nailed.
I think we're right where we need to be now.
I feel pretty good where we're at, making some minor changes. For qualifying, light on fuel, brand new tires, lots of grip. We're going to let her rip.
No pressure from behind, no pressure from behind. How's the car feel, Ken?
Car is perfect, man. Put a cover on it and don't touch it because it is just spot on. I think we got a good race car. Lots of adjustment throughout the life of the race, you know, tire life as well as the fuel burn off, that type of thing. You've got to be able to adjust the car as tire wear occurs. It's supposed to be warm tomorrow, which, you know, I'm good no matter what.
Is it worth trying to get that 10th? You want to just save these things?
Usually on a new set of tires, you get 2 warm-up laps. The tire comes up to temperature and pressure as the heat grows, so does the tire pressure. And that's really the optimum window for the best traction you're ever going to get out of that set of tires, is the 3 laps after those 2 warm-up laps. So we went out and ran those 3 laps, and we were 5th.
How bad do you want to get ahead of Pantera?
The plan was for me to come in after those 3 laps, bleed down, and then decide what we wanted to do. And so the guys asked me, he says, you need 3/10 to get in front of Panteric.
That'd be pretty cool.
Heck with it, let's go for it.
Let's go get him. There you are, buddy. Go get him. We need 3/10. You're in a 21.9 just now, Ken.
I ended up doing way better than that, but so did Panteric. Panteric saw me come in bleeding down, and they thought for insurance they better go back out. So he went a little faster, I went a lot faster. He's 4th, I'm 5th. It's going to be a good race tomorrow.
Good job, Ken. You were P5, Chrissy is P6. Great job, buddy.
Nice lap. Tommy's behind us at a 23.8, plus he's off track or broke or whatever. Panteric's in front of you, P4's a 21.9.
Checkers out, checkers out. Great job, Ken. Alright, I did my best.
Good job, Ken. Nice lap. What are you getting the 22s?
Thank you. Car was really good.
Nail this thing, bang!
Awesome. That was good.
Yeah. Tell me I need 3/10, man. I'll go get it.
We're going to need to be in the 25s. Merrill's on pole right now with a 24.7.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We kind of showed that in the first test session. We were fast. Again, we've kind of been either lack of laps or just getting blocked on our best laps. We've never really put in our best effort in any of the sessions so far, just with traffic. So I think we've shown that we can be quick already, and we know what we can do, and I think it might surprise some people, or they're waiting for us to kind of show our speeds.
I just have Robert dropping you down a half pound. So if you stay out, we should be good. Bring you in about lap 5 or 6 and drop them and send you. If you get into 24s, that's P5. How does it feel?
Feels good. I like it. It's got a low 25 in it, I think, right? Or wherever we're at, low 26, I don't know.
That's what we know, that we've got to, based on our data, what our best rolling lap is that we've done, and based on our theoretical best laps, I think it would surprise some people, and hopefully we'll get to show that in the race. But yeah, nothing in practice and nothing qualifying showing we can really do.
P11.
We should have been, I don't know if it would have got down the next second, but there was a low whatever in there, 25.
Well, we should have been probably, with that, I'd say like top 7.
Yeah, car's good. I don't want to touch it.
I like hearing that.
What was great about Mid-Ohio is, especially this time of year, the fans come out of the woodwork. This place is packed. Trans Am is back. We got a pretty full field of TA cars. It's great. Trans Am is alive and well in the Midwest.
All right, remember, careful warming up those tires. You got 1.5 pace left.
When you have a back-to-back race, and if you look back at our other videos from earlier in the season, Laguna Seca comes to mind, right? We had a great race going there, really had a big battle with Dyson's teammate, and got knocked off the track, tore up the nose, broke the engine. It was a very expensive and painful incident. And so that just makes it harder on the guys. They only got a few days to get the car turned around and get it ready for the next race the next weekend. So the goal here was aggressive optimism. You go in there and try to do your best and try not to tear stuff up and have a good car that will be easy to service and turn around and get it ready for Road America the next weekend. things that I've learned along this Trans Am journey when I hopped into this car last year. I wasn't very good at starts last year. I was always not close enough, didn't really get a good jump, and I'd get passed by cars behind me, and it took me so long during the race to work my way back up through that it, you know, it didn't ruin the race, but it made it much tougher on you to get a good result. This year I've really concentrated on getting good starts, of being right there, being very aggressive, because it just takes that. You know, there's some steep talent in this series.
All right, make sure you're right on his bumper when you come out of the keyhole. You can hang with these guys. It's going to be a long, tough race. So push hard. Let's get ready to go. Green, 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 green. They're going. Clear outside. Clear outside. Clear outside. You got one outside. Metallic on your outside. All clear behind him. Clear, clear, clear. You can go to the inside if you want.
Bravo, bravo, bravo.
They do not sleep at the start, and believe me, if they can get ahead of you, they'll do anything to do it. At the start of this race, Penteric was my goal. If I could jump Penteric, you know, who knows what could happen, you know, from there. And that would give me another car between me and Tommy Dreese.
Good job. Keep pushing. Cars in front about half second faster.
We've really been making a lot of progress, and it's cool because a lot of people are noticing, and we like that. You know, people are watching us, and that's cool. That's what this is all about, and is being successful and improving. When you're not improving, it can be a real bummer, you know, so we want to keep getting faster, keep getting better results.
You're all right. You've got enough in the tank to get them. You just got to hit your marks. No mistakes here for 17 laps.
I made a mistake yesterday, and it's the first time I'd spun all weekend. I spun the car out, passing a lap car. I'm trying to run down Dave Penteric. We're making headway, and we have enough laps left to get to him at the end to see who's got the best tire or the least worst tire at the end of the race. And, you know, we might have had something for him. And luckily, you know, I was able to gather it together, get it restarted, and go before Dreese caught and passed me.
Good job. Head down here, Ken. Go get him. Keep driving hard.
You know, I have a colored chip is what it looks like, but actually it's a piece of Tommy Dreese's bumper, front bumper. We pulled it out of the rear of my bumper after the race yesterday. So yeah, we had some pretty close racing, and this proves it. Tommy Dreese's a past champion of Trans Am. He's just, he's numerous poles, wins, and that type of thing. He's a really, really good driver. And he switched teams this year, and you know, he's still been pretty quick. He's been nipping at Chris Dyson's championship. He's been second in the championship all season. But after his DNF at Lime Rock, you know, we kind of caught up to him in points, and we were actually tied in point total for second in points for the championship. Granted, first is the most important, but you know, there are bragging rights here, and to finish second in the championship would be huge. So coming into Mid-Ohio, you know, it was our goal. You know, we need to beat him. He's a high water mark. If you beat Tommy Dreese, you really have done something, and that's been our goal all year. I never thought that we'd get there. Well, I thought we could get there, and we did yesterday. You know, we were able to. We had a good fight, straight up fight, and we outran him, and we came in fourth place.
Checker flag, checker flag. Good run, Ken. Good run.
Checker. Good job. P4, P4.
Got a solid lock on P2 in the points, though.
Green this time by.
Ken, you got a copy?
I copy.
You're calling the green for Cameron?
Yes, sir.
I hate qualifying back there so much, and I think we're all waiting to, you know, be farther up, be in that top 3, top 5 in qualifying. It boosts morale a bit, and it helps us so much more in our starting position, having to make up ground. I'm tired of chasing these guys down and hoping for yellows, so sooner or later we'll be the ones they'll be chasing, and we'll be right up front with everybody else.
Okay, ready? Ready?
Green.
Still up there in the points. We were top 4, top 5 going into this weekend. So as soon as the green flag came out, tried to be a little aggressive at the start. We got a decent jump at the start, but you can't pass until the start finish line. So had to lift a little bit. And then just there's 2 lanes and kind of got held up. And we ended up, I think right where we started by lap 1 was like 11th place. So it wasn't a great start, but not a bad one. And we were right there where we needed to be with all the guys in front of us. So put us in an okay position.
Car feels pretty good. I'm just struggling to get the exits that I need to pass these guys. I can't pull them down the straights right now. Like everybody's in a draft, so I'm just in the same spot as everybody else every lap.
We needed to be clean. We were trying to be clean. Ran a good, first few laps of the race. Made some moves, moved up a spot or 2 inside the top 10, and we're kind of doing what we needed to do before some yellows came out. But that's kind of the secret here, was just to be smooth and be fast and see what we could do. It's definitely a fine line between what you can get away with being aggressive and what is too much and crossing that line. And I think the biggest thing is we were keeping things clean. We were sticking our nose in places when we could make the pass, and we made those work. So, we kept the car clean while we gained 1 or 2 spots, which is, we were aggressive enough, but not too aggressive. And, we didn't really get taken advantage of or get passed by anybody else. So it's kind of walking that fine line of maintaining our spots and then being patiently aggressive and moving up when we could. Going into the keyhole, we got turned into by the 77, which luckily we were door to door, so it was a little frustrating, but no worse for wear with that one. Saw an opportunity again, just being that patiently aggressive. 20 car opened the door, and that's all I needed to try to make a move. And we got up to his door, about halfway up into his car. And as soon as we're there and on the bumper of the car in front of us, it's just like he had no clue that there was anybody else behind him. So he turned hard right. I was already turning right to make the corner in the carousel, and that was kind of all it took to really chop us down and put us in the grass, and kind of ended our day there.
Misha chopped us down big time, and now I can't refire. I'm stuck. I'm stuck, can't refire. I'm toasted. Call him and throw the yellow, come get me. Copy.
Yeah, when an opportunity shows itself, especially with how tight this racing was, I just had to, and it didn't seem like much of a risk. It's a pretty slow part of the track. He left the door open. There's guys behind me pushing me in there on my bumpers, so it's almost like if you don't take it, you're going to get something taken from you. So the opportunity was there, seemed low risk, seemed easy, and then yeah, it's just tough racing guys that don't want to be raced with, I guess, cleanly and fairly.
Yeah, I was nuts looking out the window, thought I was going to save it too. I was like, geez, I don't know how I'm going to make it out. But then, of course, it stops, and these tires are going to be melted.
The only good thing, kind of bright side to look at, was some of the guys in front of us in points. Like Rafa didn't win the race, didn't qualify on pole. So the points kind of got shuffled around a little bit. We didn't really gain any positions, but we probably lost a little ground from the top 1 or 2 guys. But we know Tyler Casera finished behind us, Misha finished behind us. So there's some guys that at least we were around us in points that also had some rough weeks. So it's not going to be good going into Road America, but luckily that's our opportunity to kind of change things around.